Hello, and welcome back to the Warriors Path CrossFit podcast. I'm Kris Perry-Tedesco, owner and coach at Warriors Path CrossFit. I am a CrossFit Level 2 trainer, a National Board Certified Health and Wellness coach, and a nutrition coach. This is part of our trending topic series where we are looking at some of the conversations gaining attention in fitness, in nutrition, and wellness and personal growth. And then we're going to explore what those conversations actually mean for everyday people. Because trends can be helpful, they can introduce us to new ideas, give us a new way to think about our habits, and sometimes motivate us to take action. But trends can also become distracting, shiny objects. It can start to feel like we need a different workout plan, a new nutrition strategy, a morning routine, or supplements that we actually don't need, or some sort of mindset reset every week. So today we are going to look beyond the buzzwords. We're going to talk about the 3 major fitness conversations, 3 nutrition topics, and 3 mindset and personal growth themes that are showing up all over the internet right now. And as we go through them, I want us to consider one question. What are people really looking for underneath the trends? And I think the answer is that people want to feel better, live better, become more capable, but they're also searching for a way to do that without constantly feeling overwhelmed. Part 1, 3 fitness conversations. Number 1, build your engine. The first major fitness conversation is still about building your engine. You may hear people talk about zone 2 training, aerobic capacity, VO2 max, endurance, or developing a stronger cardiovascular base. For a long time, the loudest message in fitness was intensity. Go harder, push yourself, sweat more, burn calories, leave everything on the floor. And now the conversation is becoming more balanced. People are beginning to ask, how can I improve my heart health? How can I sustain a longer effort? How can I recover more effectively between hard workouts? How can I stay active and capable as I age? But this doesn't mean intensity is suddenly bad. It means intensity is one piece of fitness. One analogy that I like is that strength and high intensity training, like CrossFit, builds your horsepower, while aerobic development helps you build the size of your fuel tank. So if you want the ability to generate power and you also want the ability to keep moving, recover, and repeat your effort, you need more than one gear. And that matters for a competitive athlete. It also matters for someone who wants enough energy to work all day, play with the kids, travel, hike, carry groceries without feeling exhausted. Building your engine is not only about becoming a better runner, it's about creating a body that can support a bigger life. And when I say bigger life, I mean a life that you are able to do all of the things that you want to do. Trending topic 2, HYROX and the rise of the hybrid athlete. The second major fitness conversation still continues to be HYROX and hybrid training. HYROX continues to attract people because it combines running with functional movements such as sleds, rowing, lunges, carries, wall balls. But I don't think people are drawn to it only because of the individual exercises or movements. I think they're drawn to the challenge. They're drawn to having an event on the calendar, and then they're drawn to measurable progress, which is something that we've done at CrossFit all along. But I think in addition to that, they're drawn to something bigger and more difficult that they can do alongside other people. The old argument used to be that strength versus cardio. Do you want to be strong or do you want to have endurance? But now people are saying, I want both. I want to lift weights and I want to run. I want to have muscle and cardiovascular capacity. They also want to be powerful and able to sustain longer workout efforts. And that's the idea behind this hybrid athlete conversation. HYROX events are becoming highly social experience. helping explain why the sport is growing beyond the workout itself, because people are traveling together, they're training in groups, they're sharing the experience with partners and friends. CrossFit athletes recognize this a lot because CrossFit has always asked us to develop a broad, general, and inclusive fitness rather than specialize in any one physical quality. But the renewed interest in endurance gives us a useful reminder. Just because we can tolerate a short run, a hard workout session, doesn't mean we have developed a deep aerobic base. And being good at running doesn't automatically mean we possess strength, power, coordination, or movement quality that's needed to complete a fitness test like a HYROX or complete any fitness. The goal isn't to choose one or the other. The goal is to become more complete as an athlete. That's why we tie it all back to CrossFit with the general physical skills. And then the next topic, trending, number 3, is walking is being recognized as a real movement, which is great because the third fitness conversation is about walking after meals, taking walking meetings, walking outside for mental health, walking as active recovery. I've seen numerous people in my neighborhood walking with a backpack or a weighted pack, some sort of a rucksack, weighted vest. Trending now is the hot girl walk, and I'm using quotes like you can see me. The hot girl walk may have helped make walking more visible on social media, but the bigger conversation is that it has moved beyond that phrase now. People are recognizing that every beneficial form of movement does not need to become an official workout. Like I try to remind people after a hard workout, if you have a sedentary job or you have to commute a long time to work, remember it's a really good idea to get up and move around. So mark your Apple Watch or your phone or your Whoop to remind you every hour on the hour to get up and move around the office. Or if you have a long commute, if you need to pull over and get out of the car, run around the car 10 times and get back in. But just because it's not an official workout, it doesn't mean that it's not important, because our health isn't determined only by what happens during that 1 hour at the gym. It's influenced by how much we move throughout the other hours in the day. And walking can help support recovery, helps us spend some time outdoors. It gives an opportunity for a conversation with other people, and it gives us a lower stress or a lower impact way to remain active. It also challenges the belief that movement only counts when it's painful, exhausting, or performed at a high intensity, because sometimes discipline means showing up for a hard workout. Sometimes it also means taking a walk after dinner instead of sitting down and watching TV. Both can be as important as each other. Now moving on to the 3 trending nutrition conversations. This week, 3 topics continue to stand out for protein, fiber, and gut health, and creatine. So protein is still everywhere. Protein continues to dominate nutrition conversations. People are looking for high protein breakfasts, snacks, meal prep ideas, restaurant options, and convenient products they can eat on the go. Companies are now highlighting protein directly on menus and packaging because consumers increasingly associate protein with fullness, strength, body composition, recovery, and healthy aging. Another growing trend is nutrient stacking, combining protein with fiber or other beneficial nutrients. That marketing a product around only one feature, I'm glad people are paying more attention to protein. It is important, but we also need to be careful not to turn one helpful nutrition tip into the entire definition of a healthy diet. A snack isn't automatically nutritious because the package says it contains 20 grams of protein. You still need to look at the bigger picture. What else is in the food? What would you need to feel satisfied? Does this item support your training? Does it fit into your day? And are you eating actual meals, or are you trying to construct your diet around shakes, bars, chips, and powders because they simply have the name or the word protein on the package? So I don't think the best question is how can I eat the most protein? I think the better question is how can I include an appropriate source of protein consistently throughout my day that supports my lifestyle and training goals. That's a much more sustainable and useful question. Protein doesn't need to become another competition. It just needs to become part of a balanced daily habit. Second topic on the nutrition side is fiber and gut health. The protein was king and center stage. Fiber is finally getting a little bit more attention. And you may have heard the term fiber maxing. I don't know, I haven't heard of it, but when I Googled what's trending, that came up. Like many social media phrases, it takes a basic idea and gives it an extreme sounding name. But below the surface, the name is a valuable message. Many people would benefit from eating more fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and whole grains and beans and lentils. The connection directly to the growing interest in gut health is great, and people are searching for probiotics, prebiotics, fermented foods, microbiome health, and ways to improve digestion. But gut health does not need to begin with a supplement. It could start with regular foods such as berries, vegetables, chia seeds, yogurts. These are the kinds of foods that can provide fiber in a more supportive of a diverse eating pattern. This is one of the reasons why I like food-based challenges and simple goals around produce even more, such as the 800-gram challenge, because it forces us to, instead of obsessing over a single superfood, and I put that in quotes again, the challenge typically looks like how many different plant foods am I eating, or can I add a fruit or a vegetable to this meal? Can I include whole grains or seeds or nuts on a regular basis without eating too much fats? Can I gradually increase fiber rather than overwhelming my digestive system? Protein and fiber do not need to compete with each other. A balanced meal can provide a healthy portion of both. Think about Greek yogurt with berries and chia seeds, or tuna with fresh greens and a slice of whole grain bread, or lentil soup with vegetables. What about eggs and vegetables and whole grain toast? The goal is not to chase whatever nutrient is trending. The goal is to build meals that support us and feel nourished, satisfied, and energized. Topic number 3 on the nutrition side is creatine. It's finally mainstream and finally beyond bodybuilding. Creatine used to be discussed primarily in bodybuilding, powerlifting, and strength sport circles. Now it is increasingly being discussed with recreational athletes, women, older adults, and people interested in aging healthy with cognitive performance. Creatine is one of the most extensively studied sports supplements for strength and high-intensity exercise performance. Current conversations are also exploring its potential relevance beyond muscle, including brain health and cognition, although those areas require a lot more nuanced interpretation than some social media posts would suggest. This is where we need to separate evidence from enthusiasm. A promising supplement is not a replacement for food, sleep, training, hydration, or recovery. And something being helpful doesn't mean every person needs it. Before following any supplement trend, ask yourself, and or maybe your doctor, what problem am I trying to solve? Is there a meaningful evidence for this use? Is it appropriate for me? Have I handled the foundation habits first? Supplements should be a supplement to support a stronger foundation. They should not be distracting us from building a stronger foundation. Now moving on to part 3, mindset and personal growth conversations. Fitness and nutrition are only part of the picture. Actually, nutrition is the base of the hierarchy of an athlete in the CrossFit model. But the third category I'm seeing all over the place now is personal growth, especially how people are responding to stress, being overstimulated, and the pressure to consistently improve. The top trending conversation is nervous system regulation and low stimulation living. People are talking about being overstimulated, living in fight or flight mode, reducing cortisol, creating low stimulation routines, and finding ways to feel calmer. Some of the language gets overused online, and not every uncomfortable emotion means that your nervous system is dysregulated. But the larger concern is legitimate. Most people are moving constantly between text, emails, social media, news, network, work stress, family responsibilities, notifications, and we very rarely even experience silence. We very rarely complete one activity without simultaneously being consumed by something else. That's why ideas like phone-free Sundays or even a phone-free walk, reading, gardening, sitting outside, doing a household task without a podcast playing, cooking, meal prepping. These are things that are gaining attention because people are looking for small opportunities to reduce being overstimulated and regain their ability to be present. Recent wellness coverage has described these as intentional low stimulation moments rather than complicated recovery protocols, and it fits naturally with the movement because a walk outside can support your physical health and it can also give you a brain break. Training can challenge your body, but it can also give you 1 hour where your attention is anchored to the task at hand or just working on yourself rather than being on your phone. So you don't always need another life hack, sometimes fewer inputs. And this is where I often go back to when I get frustrated when people need to check their phones during a workout, because I remember when I started CrossFit, it was my 1 hour of the day that was my sanctuary. I could just focus on me and nothing else was happening around me. My phone was in a bag in the locker. I certainly wasn't wearing a watch that could text me. And everybody that was important knew where I was. So if there was an emergency, I could, in theory, be contacted at some point. But it's just 1 hour of the day. The second trending topic in the mindset space is human connection as a health practice. And I think I even blogged about this last week. We're more digitally connected than we've ever been, but more and more people are feeling isolated. And that's creating a new interest in running clubs and group fitness and community events, volunteering, hobbies, bringing people together in person or IRL. Connection is becoming part of the wellness conversation because people are recognizing that healthy habits are easier to maintain when we don't have to do them alone. And if you think about CrossFit space, the coach notices when you're struggling. A friend will call you out if you didn't show up for the walk that you had planned with them. Or if you miss a week full of classes, your WOD mates will say like, yo, where you been all week? Another cool thing is you get accolades or fist pumps for your milestones. Someone celebrates your 1,000th class or your first pull-up. And those moments aren't the extras around fitness. They are often the reason that people remain consistent long enough to experience the physical benefits of the training program. Current conversations are increasingly emphasizing stillness and genuine human relationships as responses to digital overload and being disconnected. And that's what matters to us at Warriors Path, because people may walk through the door because they want to lose weight or get stronger or improve their health, but it's oftentimes that they discover they belong here. Community is not a shortcut around doing the work. Community helps you endure doing the work. And then on to the last topic, sustainable discipline instead of the constant hustle. A final mindset conversation is the shift away from nonstop hustle. For years, personal growth content often sounded like wake up earlier or work harder or stop making excuses, just push through, never miss a day, do more, things like that. But now more people are questioning whether constant optimization is actually making them healthier or simply making them feel as though they're always behind the 8 ball. The newer topic is about sustainable discipline. This doesn't mean lowering standards or avoiding doing hard things. It means learning the difference between commitment and self-punishment. Discipline is not always about doing the hardest thing possible. It's about doing the appropriate thing consistently. Sometimes that's training hard. Sometimes that's scaling the workout because I'm not feeling 100%. Sometimes it means going to bed on time. Other times it means prepping tomorrow's lunch. Other times it means taking a rest day or a recovery day because your body forces you to take a week off. And sometimes it's returning after you've fallen out of a routine because you don't want to spend another month criticizing yourself for falling out. The strongest mindset is not I never struggle. It's knowing how to respond when I struggle. That's where the progress over perfection becomes more than just a phrase. It becomes a self-mastery strategy. But the bottom line is what connects all these 9 trends. Still, what connects your building your engine, HYROX, walking, protein, fiber, creatine, nervous system regulation, human connection, sustainable discipline. On the surface, they look like 9 separate things, but underneath, I think that people are asking for 3 fundamental questions. How can I become more capable? How can I feel better? How can I make this sustainable? People are not searching for the hardest workout. They're not searching for enough energy to participate in crazy races all the time. They're not only searching for weight loss, they're searching for meals that help them feel satisfied, strong, and healthy. They're not searching for motivation. They're searching for a way to pursue growth without constantly feeling exhausted or inadequate. And that's the opportunity and the responsibility for good coaches. Our job is not to jump on every trend. Our job is to help people interpret the trend. Is there something useful here? Is this appropriate for me? How does this fit into the larger picture? And how can we turn information into realistic action? So here's the message that I want you to leave with today. You do not need to chase all 9 of these trends. You do not need to start Zone 2 training register for a HYROX, hit a new protein target, take creatine, delete your apps, start a meditation, build a new morning routine. Choose one action that supports the life you're trying to build. Maybe it's take a walk after dinner. Maybe it's add a new protein source to breakfast. Maybe it's add another fruit or vegetable to your day. Maybe it's make yourself put your phone down for 20 quiet minutes. Maybe it's invite someone to train with you. It could be go to bed earlier. It could be get back to the gym after a hard week off. Small actions are not insignificant if they are repeated. Health is not built by performing every trendy behavior. It's built by consistently practicing the behaviors that matter most to you. Fitness should help you live a greater freedom. Nutrition should help you feel nourished and supported. Mindset should help you navigate challenges, not make you feel guilty for being human. Build your strength, build your engine, build your relationships, and build the ability to keep going. Thanks for listening to the Warriors Path CrossFit podcast. Until next time, keep moving forward and take the Warriors Path. You can find Warriors Path CrossFit on Facebook and Instagram. You can find the Green Mind Project for nutrition tips and recipes and other helpful topics at the Green Mind Project on Facebook and Instagram. You can find your mindset fix at Forging Elite Mindset on Instagram and TikTok. You can also look forward to more podcasts and blog posts about trending topics next week. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.